Hello everyone and welcome to Genie. In today's video, we are going to see about the OOPS concept in C Sharp. So let us see what are the different topics that we are going to discuss today. So we will be discussing in detail about the object-oriented programming concepts, encapsulation, polymorphism, abstraction, in an inheritance. So, if you are attending any interview, the first question will be based on the OOPS concept or the object oriented programming concepts. In object oriented programming concept or OOPS, everything is based on object. So, whatever you take in this programming concept is based on a real world uh, object and how it interact with its surroundings. So that is what this oops mainly focuses on. And the major oops concepts are encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. So every object in oops can have this uh, properties or features. Now we will see what is an encapsulation. So wrapping up of the entities into a single form, that is called encapsulation. So it is rather hiding the implementation details from other classes. And how do we achieve this encapsulation? Encapsulation is achieved through this access modifiers like private, public, and protected. So if you declare a method or a variable as private, it can be accessed only inside that. um if you're declaring a variable inside a method as private, it can be declared only inside that method. It cannot be declared outside of that class. Within the same class also it is not accessible. But if you are declaring a method as private, it can be declared only, I mean it can be used only in the same class. After that, outside the class it is not accessible. Similarly, protected means that particular method, uh, if the method is declared as protected, it can be accessed only in the inherit, that is the derived classes of that particular base class. So if you are declaring a method as protected in a base class is the parent class, then we can access the same method in the uh, same class, that is the base class, as well as the derived classes, like whichever classes is inheriting from that classes can use the same method. Now public, if you're declaring something as public, it can be accessed globally. So as you can see in the right side, there is a small snippet. So in that, a public class called bank account is declared, and a private variable um, balance is declared. So what will happen is this balance cannot be accessed outside of this class. And there are like three methods: deposit, withdraw, and get balance. So this balance is accessible inside these three methods, but it cannot be accessed outside. So that is called encapsulation, so that we can wrap up all the things in a single form. Now next concept is inheritance. Inheritance means, as the name suggests, um, a new class can inherit all the properties of that of a base class. So, in this example, we have declared a class called animal, and animal has we are declaring a method as eat, and we are declaring a base class. The animal is the base class. Now we will declare a derived class for this. and we will inherit from the base class. So for inheritance, we are using this colon symbol. Now I'm creating one more method, meow, for this for our inherited class. Now, how do you call this? So we will create a new object for our cat class, and if you write cat.eat, then the first method, that is the method in the animal class, will be called. So it will print as eating. Next, if you call cat.meow, then it will print meow. So that is how this inheritance works. So this cat class has the access to the animal class. Next principle or next concept is polymorphism. Polymorphism is the ability to exist in multiple forms. So as you can see in the slide, it allows the objects of different classes to be treated as if they are of the same type and based on a shared interface or inheritance. So in C sharp, polymorphism is achieved through overriding. So let us now see an example.
So let us create a simple program using polymorphism. I am creating a class named as shape, and inside that method, inside the class shape, I am creating a method called draw. So this will be a virtual method, and once that is done, we will create another class called circle, which inherits from shape. So inside the method draw of the class shape, I'm writing a line like drawing shape so that we can differentiate that uh, which method is working when we see the output. So I'm creating a class called shape circle, which inherits from shape, and I'm creating the same method draw, which so inside the derived classes we have to write override keyword so that the derived class method will run. Now I'm creating another interface called iDrawable, and in that I'm creating a method draw. Now let us create a class called square, which inherits this iDrawable interface. And now in the main method, I'm calling the shape class as well as the square class, square object. So this will, first one will draw the circles square draw method, and the second one will draw the squares draw method. So now we are seeing that it is drawing shape. So now if you call the circle, it will show drawing circle. So the circles method is called. So this is how polymorphism works. Now let us discuss the next concept called abstraction. So abstraction is a process of defining a class or interface with only necessary information, hiding the irrelevant details from the user. And how is this achieved? It is achieved through abstract classes and interfaces. So, for example, if you're using a mobile phone,
the user or the person who is using that does not need to know the how a mobile phone is implemented. They do not need to worry about the internal mechanism of a mobile phone, right? We just have to if you press a button, something should turn on. So we have to just if you are able to use the dial, the I mean we need to actually, we are only concerned about the working of the mobile phone. We are not concerned about how it is implemented inside the mobile phone. So that is the process, that is the hiding of unnecessary information and sharing only the relevant information with the relevant classes. That process is called abstraction. Now let us do a program for abstraction.
Now let us create example for abstraction. I am creating an abstract class shape, and in that I am creating an abstract method area. Now let us create another class rectangle which inherits from shape, and this rectangle has got two properties, width and height, and inside the constructor let us call these two properties. Now let us create another so now let us override the method area inside the rectangle and return width by height. That is the area of rectangle. Now I am creating another interface, iResizable, and this interface has a method resize. Now let us create another class which inherits from shape as well as iResizable, and I'm creating a property called side and calling this inside the constructor of the class square. Now let us call this class shape in the main method. Let us call the rectangle class with width and height as 5 and 10. Then let us call the shape.area method. It calls the rectangle's area method. And for the resizable, I am creating an object of square with 5 as the side and the resizable value as resize value as 2. Now let us call the area method.
Now we have actually seen what are the OOPS concept, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction. These are the fundamental OOPS concepts, and these are very fundamental to C# programming as well. So this is a very base video on OOPS concept. If you want an elaborate video, please do uh, write in the description below, in the comment below, so that I'll create a detailed video on each of these uh, programming concepts. So I hope you like my video. If you like my video, please do consider subscribing to my channel and click on the bell notification item so that you will receive all of my future videos. Do like, comment, and share this video with your friends and family. So happy coding. See you next week. Bye.